It is semi-final number 2 of the ITM Cup as Wellington and Southland will go head-to-head for the second time in consecutive weeks to find out who will meet the Tasman Makos in this year's ITM Cup Grand Final. Hello everyone and welcome along to Cornf1lakes Crib, your home of Rugby Challenge 2 and the ITM Cup season, where we are following the fortunes of two sides this year. It is the Tasman Makos who have already booked their spot in the Grand Final showpiece, and of course the Southland Stags, who are in semi-final number 2 here against Wellington, who they met a week ago in the final round-robin match. The result that day was a 28-15 win to the Southland Stags. Wellington now have the home advantage as they finish second on the table after being pipped by Tasman due to the loss they received by Southland. So a lot happened in the last round, a lot changed. Somehow Tasman stole that top spot, and as a consequence of beating Canterbury in semi-final number 1, have booked their spot. Now it is Wellington and Southland to find out who will be there for the grand final match of the ITM Cup. Wellington have just one change, with Schwalger coming in on the loose-head side of the front row. Other than that, the starting 15 remains the same as they look to reverse the result from a week ago. The only thing that's different here for Southland is the piece of grass that they are playing on. They'll have the confidence to know that if they perform up to that level again, they can beat Wellington, and they know that there is a place in a grand final at stake against a team that they took the Ranfurly Shield off and then consequently held it for the rest of the season. Their team is remaining unchanged once again when they're hitting their straps so perfectly like they are at the moment. How can you change anything in the squad? The 15 is the same, and they have so much confidence to try and make their way to the ITM Cup Grand Final. The players look set to go on the field, so we'll get down to the action. Kickoff is about ready to get underway. Semi-final number 2, Southland travelling up to the capital to face Wellington. The Stags versus the Lions. If it was out in the middle of a jungle, it would be no contest at all, but it's in a rugby field and it could be quite the matchup. The ref calls ready for the two captains, and Supawanga gets this one underway as he goes deep down into Wellington territory, and we are underway. First breakdown of the match here goes to the Lions. Wellington set it back, Rapier gets picked up and driven back. A huge hit coming in there from the open side flank. It's in, boys. That's massive. Here we go for chance. Southland turn it over. Oh, and Holo knocks on. A big chance goes begging for Southland very early on. Well, Willis Holo has been so good this season. We've seen multiple times he's strong and fast and very hard to stop, but when he can't hold on to the ball, the try line was calling his name. And another chance goes begging. Southland will be ruining that one already after just 5 minutes of the match. Could have been a fantastic start for the Stags. Rangihuna feeds a scrum and he slips it. Oh, slips a knock on straight out to Willie Rapier. What a turnaround this match has had. Back they go. Kanafanga looks to kick, but he changes his mind. Jackman goes straight into Ambrose Curtis, who takes him to ground. Southland once again set it up. Supawanga at first receiving. Holo. Wide they look now. Vaanga a bit sideways. Finds some space here for Hardy. Beckham field for Milne. Looks to step his way around the defence. He's isolated completely, and Shields says thank you, but Rangihuna has once again knocked on, and it is Wellington who are making all the early mistakes here, as Southland have them pinned down inside their 22. Knock-ons coming from Rapier. Rangihuna hasn't looked very comfortable. Mind games coming into play here for Wellington. Southland will want to keep the pressure on here. Won't want to let up. The indecision here from the Lions could cost them as Elliot Dixon runs off the back, finds Holo deep. Sopawanga's hit hard. Big tackle from Bateman. Southland struggle here at the breakdown and they lose possession. It goes back to the Lions. And Rangihuna is again hammered backwards. Another big tackle coming in from the Stags. Defence is key here. Here's Filippo, slips it back, and this time Rapier gets his kick away. Back there waiting is Ngalafe, and he'll run this back here. Looks to get away, but a good tackle once again from Ambrose Curtis. Stops him in his tracks and turns it over. This is exceptional from Wellington. Bateman runs hard. Oh, and Adams turns him over. Boy's in some space, and Boy's locks on. Wow, this is comedy of errors at the moment from both these sides. Here's Stroger. The change from last week as Filippo slips around the corner for goods, and this is exceptional stuff. Once again, Filippo into play between the forwards and a very high level at the moment from Wellington. Rangihuna goes back, and again it's Rapier. Oh, wow! That is a massive tackle. Miles offside, he's got away. Here comes Ngalafe running into the defensive line. He's got a big line of Wellington defenders in front, and look at this. Southland lose the ball, and it's Wellington who look like they might get something working here. Shields busts through himself.
Release.
Nearly loses possession. Rangihuna away goes to Rapier, changes direction, and Bruce Curtis does well, but just the ankle tap on Hill from McIntosh is all that stopped the open side flanker from running away there with a massive opportunity. Here's Dylan Hololo, throws it in, ambiguous at the front. Adam feeds it quickly to Sopoaga, and they're going to rely on the boot of Sopoaga quite heavily here. Down it goes, and Wellington attack again. Kicking is the order of the day. This one running away from Milne. Brian Milne eventually goes back for it, finds some support as they look desperately. Here's Southland. Here's Elliot Dixon. Nice offload room to Wharelofa. Sopoanga's on hand. Now, here's the real decision. He kicks ahead, and Jackman, he's in a bit of a race here. Leading the charge is Treby. Across they come. It's all for one. Oh, look at this from Jackman. Outstanding stuff. Absolutely no right whatsoever to score that try. Jackman's got it down. And Wellington should well look at themselves and figure out what is going wrong here. A number of players were back there. No one was interested. Just grubbers it through as they went down. And you must ask, how did this go wrong for Wellington? 3 players going back. Treby was there. There was also the left winger, Tua Tegolua. He couldn't get a hand on it. And really, that is poor stuff from the Lions. Southland run to the pump. They did not take anything from all that time. They had the pressure. And now they just counter-attack. An absolute brutal try as we head towards the end of the first half. Lima Sopoaga as a cherry with a nice conversion to give Southland a 7-0 lead over Wellington. A place in the grand final is at stake for these two sides. Someone will be going home tonight. Their season will be over. Willie Rapier will get the one back underway. He kicks deep down the middle of the field, long into the 22 of Southland. Holoholo to Sopoaga. Nice pass, and here's Willis Holoholo. He's going to look to kick this up, and it's going to drift into touch. Out on the full. Didn't really have the time to put that kick right where he wanted it to. Pressure from Wellington. A bit too much there as the inside centre looked to put the pressure on. Here's a line out. Oh, stolen from Beckuis. Now it's Holoholo again. Straight into the defence he goes. And oh, look at this from Wellington. Very big pressure. Half-time rings. Here's Vaanga. Oh, good hit as he looked to nearly shift through there. Southland desperately keen to hang on to the ball. McIntosh takes the one defender. Finds some space for Jackman. Oh, good tackle from Rapier again.
Release.
Southland get the defence across, and the support to the breakdown is good in the end for Southland. Again, they recycle, and here's Willis Holoholo. Oh, Ambrose Curtis come out of the line. Desperate mistake as it's chipped over the top, and it will slip down. Once again, Curtis on hand. Southland with numbers. This could be interesting. Wellington are desperate to get this ball, but they lose it. Southland get it back. Holoholo, he's got a man out wide. It's Milne. Oh, he just hung on. Beautiful tackle from Tua Tugalua. Now we go again on Southland. Sopoaga. Shields will take him down. This is very good goal line defence here from Wellington. Has Southland pressure on, but the ruck will go back the way of Wellington. Slips it up. Rapier's knocked on and a try. What an absolute opportunistic chance from Southland. They'll get the second. And it will go to Hardy, I think, yes. John Hardy will score. Well, I thought Wellington had done enough, and you'd think that this is the perfect time to kick it out. But Rapier was far too flat, not deep in his own dead ball line. Should have done everything desperately possible to kick this out. But no, big mistake from Goods. Rapier just completely off his mark, and the ball scrunts free. And it is John Hardy who jumps on it, grabs himself a try, much deserved too. Half-time was ringing. Wellington should have been just 100% dedicated to kicking that ball out on their own goal line. What a dreadful mistake to make from Rapier. Here's Sopoaga, the opposite number 10, and he's having a better match of it. Another conversion for Lima Sopoaga, and Southland looking as good as they did when these two sides met a week ago. It is 14-0, and it is Southland travelling here to the capital of Wellington, the Cape Town, who are putting the pressure on this Wellington side. 14-0 at the break, and we can look at these stats, and what a story they tell. Southland has been huge in attack in the Wellington 22. They had camped themselves down there for a good 15 or 20 minutes of the match, and you can see as a result the stats show exactly that. 78% possession and 75% of territory. Line breaks as well, 4-2. That is big. Wellington should have made more of their 2 line breaks, but haven't really looked like they were going to score, apart from an early chance after they broke out of Southland's grip hold on their 22. Both sides have made 3 handling errors, which has been quite problematic. The knock-ons have been very, very huge, most of them playing out to an advantage, which probably don't count towards handling errors, but both sides will be looking to clean that up in this second half. Wellington need to get back in this game. They need some ball, they need some territory, and they need some points desperately, or else this one is going to run away. Southland will look to consolidate. They want to get to that grand final alongside Tasman, and it will be a cracker just like that Ranfurly Shield match. But still 40 minutes to go. Can Wellington find a way back, or will the Stags just gallop their way to a grand final? Rapier's first half display has been, well, less than impressive, we'll say that much. And he will get the match back underway. Second half of semi-final number 2. Someone is going to meet Tasman in the grand final, but this time another mistake coming from Southland, and Willis Holoholo. He is knocked on once again. Pass across the face of the defence, and Filippo goes to ground. Goods offloads nicely. This is a chance here for Wellington. Spinning it out to Ambrose Curtis, who is picked up from Jackman and easily put into touch. No real look of a chance there from Wellington. Southland's defence has just been far superior so far in this match. Here's the throw, and Holoholo, and it's down to Adams. Boys will hit the line, and he'll take out. Oh, Sopoaga! The pass just about went astray. Looks to kick. Oh, high tackle! And that could have been a massive chance for Southland. Well, we'll see. We won't see it again. And this is probably too far out for Sopoaga to really have a look. Slight breeze behind him, but still, Southland will look to pin Wellington down in their 22, and they do exactly that. Good touch finder from Sopoaga. His kick in that break wasn't bad either, as he looked wide for Milne out there on that right wing to possibly open up there. But it's a line out, and Adams has knocked it on. Big chance, begging straight away, and Shields picks it up. And Wellington have escaped a big chance there from Southland. Rangihuna, he's gone backwards. Advantage is over. Southland look to capitalise, but Wellington pull it back. Now goal, knocked on again. Willie Rapier is having an absolute nightmare out there. Holoholo quickly passes. face of Vaianga. Here's Jackman looking to step. Oh, he's done it. Jackman scores for the Stags, and that's 3 tries. Too easy. The turnover from the Rapier knock-on. And Jackman is in again. That was just far too simple. Vaianga offload. Jackman put the gas down. Around the fullback he goes. Too easy, too simple. No chance for Wellington. Just one step, 1-on-1. Too much speed for his opposite number. He really did leave Ambrose Curtis for dust. And Jackman, well, he has been prolific this season, no question about that. And he has all but sealed this match up here for Southland. There's no bonus points here. Try scorers don't matter when it comes to points like that. It's win at all costs. And Southland, well, they could probably happily say that going for the line instead of the post was a good option from the penalty, as Sopawanga nails another sensational conversion. And Southland lead this one 21-0 over Wellington. Who would have picked it? I think Wellington should have been feeling a bit more confident going back home. It was a close-ish match in that final round-robin game as Adams finds Willis Hulahala. There's Doyle, there we go! He's through again! He comes up against the fullback, but a great tackle from Wells at the back stops him short. Quickly recycled ball from Southland. They look outside for Milne. Infield ball. Nicely done for Vaianga. He's dragged down finally from about 3 Wellington players. Marmia involved. He made the final hit. Short side play. Oh, there's a big hit on Reddish. Shields quickly gets out of that and he comes back for scrum half. Oh, just about an intercept as Southland are looking class above here. Wellington have got no answer. Beckuis will play scrum half. He looks wide for Sopawanga, who just bobbles one out. The Holoholos get combining nicely. Here's Jackman. He wants another. No, he'll play this time to be the creator as Kanawhanga seals the deal. The 4th try and an absolute destructive force of Southland have scored their 4th and will win this game with absolute ease. What has happened to Wellington? Should have finished top of the table. The Southland side destroyed them, and now they've done it again in the semi-final. Rangihuna, his effort was absolutely horrific. Take a look at this. Beautiful interplay. The Holoholos were outstanding there. Jackman, he played creator there, giving it to Vaianga, and that little step in out went for the touchline twinkle toes and got the job done. Kanawhanga, sensational try. Southland have 4, and they are looking odds on here to go to the grand final of the ITM Cup. 15 minutes remain, and Sopawanga has another one from out on the left, and that is a beautiful kick from Lima Sopawanga. The flags are raised high. Easy call for the assistant referees. And Wellington are really calling on some desperate changes now. Coles will come on for Goods. Well, that's interesting. That is a tight head prop for a hooker. I don't know what Wellington are playing at here, but that is a horrific call again. So we have Dane Coles coming on to play on the tight head side of the scrum, it seems, as Elliot Dixon goes crunching into contact on the 10-metre line. Boys, oh, beautiful pass from Boys as Holo. It's just dragged down in a good tackle and turned over as well. Isolated. Here we go. A chance for Bateman. He's finally dragged down from Ngalafe. Wellington looking to rescue something from this match as Reddish, oh, take it all back. Mark Reddish is smashed into touch. Southland showed a glimpse of maybe a bit of a weakness there, but boy oh boy, smashed. Straight to touch. Here's Holo, always messed that up. As Adams goes through a wee scamper, but the ref will call them back. Not straight at the line out. Holo's not happy, but McIntosh is content just to let that one run off and see what Wellington have to offer in response to the penalty. Southland will want to test their defence now. See how up to the task they are for a very attacking Tasman side in a grand final. Just 5 minutes remain, and the forwards, well, they've got other ideas here, because Southland have blown Wellington off this ball at the scrum. Sopoaga feeds wide. Vaianga around the corner for Willis Halaholo. He's still got one man, and it's Jackman. He'll scream away. Rangihuna's chases off the mark, and it will be Jackman. And for another try, hat-trick for the right winger. Well, Jackman has been exceptional, and he's playing on the left wing as well. So what a display from Mark Jackman. He was on the loose there. Beautiful speed, getting away from Rangihuna and leaving him for dust. Chase from Bateman, never going to catch him. Treby there as well. We know they don't have the pace to pick up a man with the speed of Jackman. Played sevens, quite experienced sevens player. And you can see the full range of skills coming out here in broken play from Mark Jackman. The 5th try for Southland. Unbelievable result this. I think everyone would have thought it was last week's match with just a little bit more closeness, but it has been anything but here, as Sopoaga will get the final say. The whistle will go as the hooter blows. Full time, Southland absolutely dominating this match, 35-0, and they're going to the grand final to face Tasman. Well, I thought last week, 28-15, just 13 points in it, I thought we might get an absolute cracker. They've seen each other, they've played against each other, but it seems only one team really learnt anything from that match. And that is today's victors, the Southland Stags, an absolute class above Wellington here tonight. 35-0, a scoreline, unbelievable scoreline. 5 tries, all converted from Sopoaga, 3 for Jackman, he was phenomenal. Vaianga and Hardy with 1 each, giving them 5. Wellington, nothing to show at all. What on earth went wrong here for Wellington? The questions will be heavily asked in the coming days by the Wellington supporters out there. I have no doubt about that. The full-time stats did not change a whole lot, did they really? Possession still 72 to Southland. Territory 70% to Southland. Dropped a little slight bit, but Wellington just had no real game to play at all. Southland handling errors were 7 to Wellington's 4, but all in all, it was as one-sided as you could possibly get. The perfect match almost from the Stags over the Lions, and it will be Southland versus Tasman for the grand final. That is the final match of the season. Who will take the trophy? Southland have wrapped up the Ranfurly Shield for the off-season. Now they have one match to go. One trophy is safe in the cabinet. They have a chance to pull out the clean sweep here if they can take out Tasman, who will have plenty to say about their chances of that happening. That will be the grand final, and that will be coming very soon. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. Hope you've enjoyed this ITM Cup. There is one massive match left to go. Tasman versus Southland Makos up against the Stags. Grand final of the ITM Cup, and I will all see you there. Until then, take care.